Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on this Tuesday here on 90s Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and stop me if you've heard this before, but it is hot outside. It is also dry outside, but there are some changes coming to this very persistent long-term heat that we've been kind of locked into for the last week plus at this point. Again, we've got some substantial changes coming, and it's going to be a bit gradual. Starting a little bit today, but we'll see those real big changes kick in for the end of the week. But right now outside in Denver, one thing overhead that you probably haven't noticed for a few days, there's something different in the sky. I'll give you a second to think about it and look at it. Yeah, it's the clouds. We actually haven't had, we haven't had a single cloud overhead since those clouds decided to disrupt the Ed Sheeran show back on Saturday night over in Power Field at Mile High. But since then, yesterday we had a cloudless day. Also Sunday, an unusually cloudless day as well. But today we're starting to see a few clouds work their way back in. That is a sign of some of that monsoonal moisture that is starting to return to the state, and that will start to cool things on off a little bit today, but more in earnest for the end of the week. So another hot one ahead. Heat advisories in place will be near record high once again for us, but you can break out the Arctic parkas. It will only be 96 or 97 today compared to the 99 we got up to yesterday. Mountain storms return for today, and I think we'll see a little bit of coverage today, but a bit more coverage for tomorrow. And then the end of the week is when we're going to be seeing some widespread showers and storms for us. And it looks cool. It looks, I wouldn't say quite a taste of fall, but certainly much cooler than what we've had over the last few days. Heat advisory in place from noon until 8 o'clock today. Temperatures will get up to as high as 102. In Denver, we're probably talking about a high around 96, 97 for this afternoon. Air quality is going to be an issue due to two things. One, ground ozone. Number two, we're also talking about some wildfire smoke from the Pacific Northwest and southwestern Canada. Some of that wildfire smoke is seeping its way into our skies. That is reducing that visibility as well. So try and limit that time outdoors today. Temperature, well, already hitting 90 degrees for us here in Denver, making it our, let me do the quick math on this. This is our 8th straight day at 90 or above here in town, and our 27th day at 90 or above so far this year. So this graphic not quite updated because that just happened as we went on the air here. And we hit 90 degrees, but we are talking about those highs that are in the low 90s already, and will be well into the 90s later on today. So for this afternoon, high temperature about 97 for us in town. There's a chance for a stray gusty shower west of I-25 between about 3 and 7 p.m. I'll show you that in earnest in just a second. It's just not a big deal. I'm not even putting that in the main part of the forecast because the chance for most of us is so low. It would be so low impact. Just know it's going to be hot and sunny for today. So highs, again, 90s, low 100s for this afternoon. In the mountains, a lot of 70s for us. That's where we're getting some more of that widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. In fact, starting to see those showers and storms work their way into the high country. That is some of that monsoon moisture that's starting to return. It come about 4, 5, 6 o'clock. That's when we'll see some of those showers and storms become a bit more numerous for us here into the high country. Best chance along north of I-70. The San Juans also looking at some of those showers and storms as well. And some of those in the San Juans may linger into the overnight time period. For tonight, temperatures drop back into the upper 60s. Now, this is interesting about overnight low temperatures. We've all been talking about how hot it is during the day, right? That is certainly something that is a really important story here. But what's also maybe even extra impressive and important are those low temperatures. And those low temperatures dictate a lot of our energy prices, the strain on the power grid, because if it drops down into the 60s at night, that means you're probably leaving the AC off, or maybe minimally at best, you just open the windows. But when we got a low temperature like 72 yesterday, that tied our warmest low temperature since 2003, and it tied for our 5th warmest low temperature on record. So it was very unusually warm for a low temperature yesterday. And also, by the way, this morning's low temperature has only been 73, which would, by the way, tie our warmest low temperature since the 1880s if we stay at 73 degrees or lower for tonight. So our low temperatures are a big part of what's been going on, and it's really important to know that as well. For tomorrow, it does continue to cool on down. Still breezy, mostly sunny. Chance for a stray shower storm for tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures mostly in the 90s and low 100s again, but notice the mountains much cooler. Again, it's a gradual cool down. A little bit cooler today compared to yesterday. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler than tomorrow. and tomorrow a little bit cooler than today. Again, it's going to be a gradual cool down. Showers and storms for us into the mountains for tomorrow for the most part. Now, big ridge of high pressure gradually kind of budging its way off to the east. That will allow some of that monsoonal moisture to work its way back into the picture. But this is ultimately what's going to change things. It's a tropical storm. You probably heard about this. Tropical storm Harold making landfall around Corpus Christi, Texas, as we speak right now. By the way, the first tropical storm to make landfall in the Atlantic Basin in the United States so far this year. Of course, we had the very unusual tropical storm Hillary making landfall on California just back on Sunday. But this is Tropical Storm Harold that's moving its way through Texas. By tomorrow, this crawls west through northern Mexico and western parts of Texas, and then eventually some of the moisture from that system couples with a cold front, and that will bring us rain. And this is very unusual for us to be talking about rainfall from a storm in the Gulf of Mexico over Colorado. So again, a tropical storm that is now over Texas, a storm that originates in the Gulf of Mexico. That system is going to find its way into Colorado by Friday and Saturday. And what that means for you, a lot of rain for us probably on Friday and Saturday. I would say at this point, Friday looks pretty wet. Friday in particular could be pretty soggy. I'd ignore that Sterling number. That's probably an outlier. But I would say there's a chance for 1 to 2 inches of rain for us in the metro area come up Friday and Saturday. It looks like we could get kind of a second push of it on Saturday as well. And what that means is the weekend, or at least I should say Friday and Saturday, looking really unsettled. And if you head into that Broncos home game on Saturday night, it looks pretty stormy. So again, the Broncos preseason finale coming up on Saturday. By the way, we'll have that on 9 News. Of course, that looks pretty stormy and pretty unsettled before things warm back up again for the end of the weekend and into the early part of next week. So again, top line takeaways. Hot today, but a little cooler than yesterday. Still a heat advisory up. Then tomorrow, still that gradual cool down. Thursday, gradual cool down. And then Thursday night, cold front arrives. Friday and Saturday looking very unsettled, very stormy. Temperatures only in the 70s, so we'll be below our seasonal average by then. And then by Sunday and the early part of next week, we start to warm back up again. So, oops, I accidentally dropped my clicker there. And there you go. Overall, top line takeaways as I get my clicker back up here. Boy, it is a case of the Tuesdays here. And I'll leave it at that. But long story short, again, warm today, warm tomorrow, and then we start to gradually warm things back up as we head over the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday timeframe of next week after a couple of cool and rainy days ahead for us on Friday and Saturday. I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. We'll have meteorologist Keely Chalmers with an update for you coming up at 9 News at noon, and at 2 p.m. she will probably not drop her clicker. And then we'll have Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 4 and 5, and meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10 on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.